All right, hello, and welcome to Afternoon Drive here. My name is Drew Moholland. Happy Thursday afternoon to you. The weekend is almost here. It is another cold and kind of windy day here in Newburyport, but sunny, so that is good. How cold was it at Fenway last night? Red Sox get another win. Very exciting. David Price on the mound, and the Sox take a stranglehold on the World Series. 2-0 over the Dodgers. Very exciting, very exciting. David Price exercising some of those World Series demons. J.D. Martinez with the big hit in another game that I did not see the end of because it is too late. It's crazy. These games are ending close to midnight. Even last night wasn't like a very long baseball game. It was just over 3 hours, but too late for me to stay up. I cannot make it. I even tried last night. I tried to take a nap in the afternoon. Tried to rest up and see if I could make it and stay up for a whole World Series game, and I don't know. That probably sounds lame to many of you out there, but I just can't make it. It's too late. So can we start them at 7 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock maybe? I would have made it if it was 7 o'clock. I got to like the 7th inning last night. Couldn't get through the last 2 innings before dozing off. So that is that. Red Sox, though, day off tonight, night off tonight, and then tomorrow, Friday night baseball in L.A., Hollywood baseball. So all the celebrities will be out. Must-win game. Not technically a must-win game, but, a big game. Dodgers really need to take Game 3 or they are in big trouble. Red Sox looking good there in the World Series. Also with this weather, did you see we got some of the mountains up north? Mount Washington has some snow. Our mountain up there is Shawnee Peak up in Bridgeton, Maine. I do a lot of skiing there, and a little bit of snow up on that mountain as well. Winter is coming very quickly. It's been cold here too. The heat is on, and most households, as I've been mentioning pretty much every show, we're really pulling for the Merrimack Valley and Columbia Gas to get back on quickly, too, because it's been so tough on those people without gas since the explosions. So it's a tough time here as the weather really does start to get cold. And hopefully, you get your trick-or-treating next week. Hopefully things warm up a little bit for the kids for, what is that, Wednesday night? Lexi, Wednesday night, Halloween? Wednesday night, there you go. Lexi Foley, our producer today. On the radio side, David Kramer on the TV side. Hello to everybody watching at home and streaming on the hand looks really weird when you do that up close. Should pull it back. But David Kramer on the TV side. So hello to everybody watching at home and watching on the YouTube stream. Another great way to follow the show here. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Joppa Afternoons. That's at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. Stay interactive with the show. The other big story, besides the Red Sox, is kind of more of a nationwide story. All these packages showing up, these suspicious packages seem to be kind of a pipe bomb theme to most of them, showing up at all these former Democratic officials or current Democratic officials or just supporters of Democrats. Today, the latest ones were 2 packages intercepted to Vice President Joe Biden's way, and the other one was to actor Robert De Niro at his hotel/restaurant/studios there, Tribeca Studios in New York. De Niro, you may remember, had that might seem like the odd one to you, but it is not so odd when you think about the last year for him. He had that PSA where he had very unkind things to say about President Trump. He then went on the Tony Awards, and while he was introducing Bruce Springsteen, decided to come out and just say a few more unflattering words about Trump that had the producers, the editors, the whatever for the Tony Awards with their hand on the bleep button. That was quite not necessarily surprising from De Niro. I guess just surprising in that forum. And then on Alec Baldwin's new show 2 weeks ago, De Niro just went off on the president again. So obviously, this is these packages are targeting people that are saying bad things about the president or don't agree with the president, and Robert De Niro certainly falls into that category. So there'll probably be more of them, too. It's been kind of a crazy 2 days. None of these things have gone off or hurt anybody, so it's not like that kind of thing, but they do need to catch us over doing this because it is not good at all, and it's scary. The Clintons, the Obamas, they all got them. George Soros earlier in the week, he was kind of the first one that got things going, so a little bit of a crazy time in that regard, but I don't know. Hopefully they find out who's ever doing this. I guess the FBI can, everybody you talk to expert-wise says they'll be able to narrow it down by the stamps and find out where all these stamps came from. Maybe the same place, who knows. Trace back who bought them in bulk, check out the video. So we'll see. They'll end up getting them. Usually these people don't just kind of fade into the darkness. So we will see. But certainly an unnerving situation there with the suspicious packages going around. Bunch of red line issues this morning. Hopefully you didn't have to take the red line into work. It was very early. That would be just for the early goers, but there was a fire in the red line at Andrew Station last night. Shut down a lot of the red line last night. Not sure how many people around here actually use the T when they get into the city, but there are certainly people who make use of it. Commuter rail probably more popular, I would guess. I'm taking the commuter rail into Boston tonight, going to the Bruins game. Bruins Flyers, I think, at home tonight. It's weird. I'm not in hockey mode yet, but my brother-in-law's birthday. Happy birthday, Patrick. We are heading into the game together, so that'll be fun. Bruins in action tonight on a Red Sox off night. It's a very busy time to be a Boston sports fan, huh? If it's not the Red Sox playing, the Bruins or Celtics fill the gap, and the Patriots are still pretty good too. So there you go. I guess you get all that stuff. We have a return guest on the show here today, which I am very excited about. You remember Caleb Noble? He's the man who runs his own, not a brewery. What do you call it when you make cider? A cider house, I guess, or I forget. I'm going to ask Caleb exactly what you call that, but he makes his own cider, and always cool to talk about. Because it's fall, people like the cider in the fall. And the other thing is he runs his own business. He's a young guy running his own business. I think he's younger than me, if I remember correctly. I'm 31. I think he's just under my age. And it's kind of cool to have a young business owner, and he has to do some interesting things to keep the business running. So let's talk with him in just a moment. He was very entertaining last time. I expect more of the same here in just a second. Caleb Noble on the show after this break. Again, Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. My name is Drew Moholland, and this is Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland, and I almost just kept talking to Caleb here off the air. We were enjoying ourselves, and I said we should probably just stop and turn the microphones on. So Caleb Noble joins us from Simply Cider. Saintly. God, I did it last time.
It could
too,
be Simply, too.
Jesus,
Whatever. It's all good.
Saintly Cider. What a jerk.
No, it's all good. I won't judge, I promise.
You got the hat on, too. I could have just read the thing.
Yeah. But it is Simply Cider.
It is, I mean? Yeah. That's what it came from, right?
Yeah.
Show the hat, too. What camera are you on? The other camera, actually. There you go. That's the one. Better lighting on that one, too.
Oh, right there. You
yeah.
See that? Okay.
See that? Tricky. We got them everywhere now.
Wow.
How about that? I'm probably going to say that again now. I think I've completely tricked myself.
No, that's
so
fine.
just
That's
scream
cool.
at me every time.
I don't care.
Saintly Cider with Caleb Noble. How you been, man? Good to see you.
Good, man. This is living the dream.
Yes.
Trying to keep my head above water.
That is, yes. Aren't we all?
Yep.
We were just talking off the air before I went to the break. I said, he's got the great, and I said, it's not a brewery. That's beer. What is it? A cider house? And then you, off the air, just told me it is a
cidery.
A cidery.
A cidery.
I had not heard that before.
Not a winery, but a cidery.
It's lovely.
Yeah, or brewery. Lots of E's, but
lots of E's, yeah.
Cider.
But you said it could be a cider house. Was that just you making
cider
you
house.
feel good, or
yeah, cider house could be something, or a cidery.
Is that a different thing?
It's the same thing. I mean, Downey's Hard Cider. They call themselves Downey's Cider House. You know?
All right. So I was in the right ballpark there. Very good. I don't think that came up in our last conversation. But anyway, Saintly Cider. How's life? How's business? Good?
It's crazy, man.
Good?
It's cider making season. So
it's cider making season.
It's crazy.
It is, isn't it? My wife came home with cider the other day. Not yours, actually. I should have told her that there's strict instructions this week to buy Saintly Cider. I should have told her that.
Yeah.
But she likes that stuff, though. It's like a very fall thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's when you think of harvest, you think of apples, and you think of pumpkins, and you think of that pumpkin beer, and whatever, all that kind of.
Another big one, yeah.
Yeah, so you just think fall and harvest season, so. Apple picking with your family, so it's kind of
nice. Hooking into a family affair. Very good. Yeah, the very fall outfit too. This is good. You're prepared for this.
Exactly. You got to look the part too. Fake it till you make it. That's what I say.
Very good. Man, I could have done that myself too, but very good. So everything's good. The wife is good. Still working the business with you.
Yeah. So she helps
in it together.
Yeah. Through thick and thin. She helps me with most of the packaging and like fermentation and flavors, and then I do all the sales and the
tasting,
marketing and tastings and yeah, pretty much. I don't even drink it. I only drink it when we make it. Like I don't ever like crack open a bottle because I try it like almost every day.
I was going to ask, is there a and you have to be honest here, that is the rule. Do you ever just get sick of it?
I don't get sick of it. I'm just like, when I do a tasting, sometimes I don't even try it because I'm like, I know exactly what it tastes like already. But as a perfectionist, like any artist, you are always picking apart whatever you're doing. So
Yeah.
I honestly can't drink it and 100% enjoy it because I'm like, I want to change this about it. I want to change. I mean, because the thing is, once you get happy with what you're doing, people are gonna come flying by you. It's like in sports, once you stop practicing, there's gonna be another guy that's gonna come, or girl, that's gonna come along and progress past you. So you always gotta push yourself to be better.
Wow, there you go. You get a lot going on up there.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes not much. You ask my wife, I'm like spacing out half the time.
No, okay, yes. It seems like a little cider paranoia over there, Caleb.
Yep.
I don't know. Well, that's very good. Oh, why don't I just get this out of the way, too, because Sarah just literally ran in here before you came on and said, ask him about carbs. She's very, she wants to know about the carbs in the cider. Are there low-carb choices? I have a feeling she's in the mood for some cider this weekend.
She was talking about keto diets and stuff like that.
Yes.
The funny thing is people ask us about, because we're zero sugar in all of our ciders. So
is that right? Oh.
So there's zero added sugar, and what makes alcohol is when the yeast eats the sugar. Mm-hmm. So what happens is we ferment it. So we have the yeast eat all the sugar down, so there's no sugar left. Okay. And that's like the product that we give you. So we don't add anything in the end. Like a lot of people, cider, wine, you have like a sweet kind of thing. Sweet, if it's sweet, it's either back sweetened with sugar, or like maple syrup, or with fresh cider, or things like that. Yeah. So we don't do that. We essentially ferment it down. So we take out all the sugar. The yeast eats all the sugar, and then you're left with a dry, called a dry cider. Yep. So a dry cider, zero sugar. So it's super light, super dry. And then if you were like a semi-sweet, that means that there's some added sugar, or they stop fermentation before it's done. So there's never zero sugar in it at that point. And all right. No sugar means lower carbs, which recently everybody's like really into the zero sugar, like low carb stuff. Yeah. And people ask me how many carbs are in it. I honestly don't know. So we're actually going to send out to a lab to get an exact number so we can tell people. Just more work for you. Yeah, to add to the list, you know what I mean? So no, it's good though. People they're more aware of their health, so I think it's cool. Well, that's always a good thing, I guess. Yes, and it doesn't seem like that hard of a project. It's probably going to be. I think you might gain Sarah, so that might balance the books a little bit. Who knows? Again, we're joined here by Caleb Noble of St. Lee Cider. Actually, I was just off the air again talking to you, and let's bring it on the air. Some big news as far as you might be. Yeah, moving up, but we're not gonna. You're always looking to expand. Yes, definitely. That's and, all right. We won't get into details on that one, but we're looking for space right now. So hopefully next spring we'll have. Gotcha. And where are you guys currently out of right now? We're in Raleigh. We rent space from Mill River Winery, which is a great winery in Raleigh, local. They have local grapes. They also ship in stuff from different countries in the West Coast, and they do a great job. And we went over this last time. I remember you were talking to me, and a lot of it's actually stuck with me. That it's you were saying it's like everybody thinks it's the coolest job in the world. It's hard work. I remember you saying that. It's brutal, man. Cleaning kegs. Brutally. It can be. I mean, it's awesome. It's amazing what social media can do for any business. Yeah. It can make it seem like it's amazing all the time, but most of the time it's really rough. No one sees like the what stuff you go through doing billing and trying to do paperwork at 11 o'clock at night, and you got to wake up at 5:30 to go clean horses' stalls, like things like that I think that someday will pay off, but right now it's all underneath. Is the end goal for you to open up a bunch of places, and is that like everybody's dream if you're having, I mean, for me, I don't I've been telling Emily and stuff like that, I just want to make enough money that Emily's your wife. My wife Emily. Yeah. I said I just want to be big enough that I can do it. We can do it full time and hire some people to work for us and pay our bills. Like, I don't need to be a millionaire. Like, money doesn't buy happiness for me anyways, No, very nice. So that's kind of where I just want to be sustainable, well known, and we're known for the right things, not the wrong things. You know what I mean? But you'll take the Powerball winning ticket if it's out there. Of course, yeah. And I quit my part-time job tomorrow. You'd keep the winery. Yeah, I would. Yep. I mean the cidery. Yeah. The cidery. It's all good. I'm gonna call it the. Well, my gut wants to say cider house. Yeah, that's fine. It feels comfortable. So right now I'm actually at a winery, so that makes sense. You're at a winery. But eventually I'll be at my own cidery. Or cider house, however you want to call it. Mind blown here. Yes, excellent. All right, so this is the cider life. Again, we're talking with Caleb Noble. Is it? So we talked about how this is like cider season. Yeah. How much up to sales go? Like, is it literally it feels like everybody wants cider? Yeah, doubles pretty much. Doubles, really? Yeah, it's crazy. The way you see it is like from at least the numbers for us, August August, September, October, November, December. Those are the best months. You know
what is that? Is it like is it just the Christmas in the
holidays,
in the air?
Yeah, holiday season. It gets a little chillier out. Thinking harvest, apples. And like I think summer's more of like, that's like beer kind of like season. Like you talk about breweries, like summer's like.
I feel like you could make cider into like a summer thing though.
Yeah,
too.
it is. No, because it's super light. It's like a prosecco. Yeah. Like our style, people say it's like prosecco all the time, and so you keep it super light.
That's big right now too, prosecco.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
I find like I had never heard of it like until like a year ago, and now I hear about it like every time I go out.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're having a sugary, really heavy thing, then I see it not as being a summer thing. But this is something when it's zero sugar, it's good light with food. You can have like fish or cheese or steak. It can go with anything. That's the cool thing about it.
That is cool. Wow, doubles though, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's
incredible.
Yeah, and it's just gonna get. And this is my first full season because I started a year and a half ago. So I'm really still figuring out the numbers now.
Yep.
But like it's crazy how much, and it's amazing to see the numbers they did in a month. You're like, wow, I don't even realize I did that. Wow, that's cool.
So just like late August, you start to see the jump.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's definitely pretty much doubled. So it's been awesome. Can't keep up right now.
And so that's a little bit of the business side of it. You were telling me the other day that you had what was it? You had to go to City Hall or Town Hall for something. Did that have to do with the
farmers markets? Maybe was that?
I thought
when did we talk last time?
No, for Tuesday when I tried to book you on the show.
Oh, because I have my part-time job. So
it's for a different job.
Yeah, I work for
I'm
Newberry.
picturing you like proposing like all this.
No,
I want to be on every street corner.
Yeah, pretty much. I do, but no, I was at town meeting for the town Newberry. I do all their video stuff for them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Well, that's a cool little fun job.
Yeah,
that's why you're comfortable on the radio.
Yeah.
Showman.
Yes, a showman. Yes.
Excellent. So what's the what have been the obstacles here since we last talked? When did we last talk?
I don't even know. A few months ago.
Who cares?
Yes. I think the biggest thing for having a business like us that's bootstrapped that I'm not strapped with, I don't have a ton of money. Like pretty much everything we've done has been paid for by us. So a lot of it's trial and error. It's not like we can pay somebody to give us like advice. You know what I mean? So a lot of it's trial and error. So originally what we were trying to do is get in as many liquor stores as possible.
Yep. You've done pretty good with that, right?
Yeah, I think we're in like 20, 25 right now, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
And so we were doing that, and then, I was just starting to spread myself wicked thin because I do all the sales and I do most of the production. Emily helps me with some of it. But, going down to Gloucester or Salem or even Beverly, it's just so hard to get that far away. So I kind of was like, all right, I'm done, going to Danvers or Malden or Boston. I'm like, it's not worth it for selling a couple cases a month. It's just not worth it. Once you account your time and your expenses, it's not in gas. So we decided we're going to shrink it down and just focus on Newburyport, Amesbury, West Newbury, Merrimack, Haverhill. Haverhill's become a really good spot for us too. Like they love us.
Haverhill's big on cider.
Yeah, and Raleigh, Ipswich, Georgetown, Essex, and we're going to start focus more on getting on draft because draft is something that it's more work to get draft lines because say you have 10 draft lines. Yeah. You're competing. There's usually only one cider on drafts. You're competing with like every other cider company, Angry Orchard, Down East, you name it. Or you're competing with every brewery in the world, literally, for 10 draft lines. So the chance of you getting one is hard. So it's a lot of work.
I don't think I quite realized the fight for draft
lines. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, those are hard to protect your. They say you got to protect your lines. You know what I mean? So, but if you establish good relationships with people, they're going to keep you on. Like Ale House. In Amesbury, Barking Dog Ale House in Haverhill, and Fat Cats in Amesbury, and the Whale in Newburyport have kept me on since the beginning. So
the Whale was that night.
Thirsty for Whale, a birthday
right?
party. Yeah. So that was that was in March. So that was 6 months ago.
Yeah. So there you go. It's been too long, Caleb.
It has been. It has been.
That was a fun night. You had a big turnout for that.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
You were like running around like a madman back there.
We had 3 ciders on draft. We had a Heart and Soul, which is our hibiscus mint, which is a huge hit this year. We had a Hopped that we did just for that night, and then we had Cornerstone original.
That's good. It was I have a funny story that night. So you were nice enough to spot me and give me a taste test. I
think it was that day.
It was. That's right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, right.
So it was like March 3rd or something.
You said you had a thing. I showed up and said hello.
Yeah.
There was
play a basketball game that night.
I had that's right. That's good memory. That's right. We had a basketball game.
Coach Clay came in and talked.
That's right also.
Yep.
My goodness.
Man, it's like a vault, but I can't remember what my wife said an hour ago. But I remember that.
I was going to remember Tuesday.
Yeah.
That is funny. Yeah, I could not remember that. That was good job by you. There was this like fisherman drinking just beer dark beer, whatever. And he's just there. And he's like, so what do you got there? And I'm like, oh, St. Louis Cider. I just had this guy on the radio, and he's going around. He's going, what's he doing? Something promotion or something? I'm like, yeah, some sort of tasting, or, I forget what he asked. And he's just like looking around, and he doesn't say anything the whole time. And then just randomly, like we hadn't talked the whole time, randomly he goes, gotta try it, give it to me.
That's hilarious.
I was like, what the? All right there, stranger. Here you go.
That's hilarious.
Have some of my drink.
Yeah.
I said, I guess we're all friends here.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like cheers.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting moment. I've never seen him again, man. But I think it was a fisherman. Is a lot of the fishermen in that place?
Yeah, it's a lot of townies. People been around forever. It's like the last place you
that
can
guy's
be
there right now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's like the last place in Newburyport that like you can be anybody. And I mean, it's not like, it doesn't matter how you dress, doesn't matter, like, you know what I mean?
That is definitely true.
It's an interesting place.
Yeah.
But no, then the people that own that place, Steve and Craig, are like probably the nicest people ever. They're really cool. So they're got a big place in my heart, but they definitely have a good following from the locals. So
it seems like there's always people in there, no matter what time. I don't know when they open.
No, and they have awesome chicken fingers. They're unbelievable. I'm like a little kid. Like I get kids menu sometimes, and my wife like closes her eyes.
I actually think I got chicken fingers on your recommendation that night.
They're wicked good.
I do believe them.
Yeah, they hand bread them and stuff there. They're amazing.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, oh yes, that's right. Yes, now it all comes back. They were very good. Thirsty Will, good job. So yeah, that's fun. But that was good. So you're bouncing around doing all these things, and do you have like weekends? Do you even have weekends these days?
Yeah. I mean,
got to carve out some time.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Trying to keep like Sundays to myself, but we do farmers markets in Newburyport. It's on every other Sunday. That ends in a couple weeks. We did Gloucester this year, which was Thursdays. Honestly, it isn't too bad now, unless I'm doing tastings or I'm doing like a music festival or something like that on a Saturday, like an event. That's the other thing I've learned is that Fridays are the best days to do tastings at like a liquor store or something like that. Yeah. Saturdays are really hit or miss. So I'm trying to honestly, when I'm working, I'm trying to be smart about when I'm working so you get most bang for your buck. You know what I mean?
That's good business knowledge right there.
Yeah.
For the kids.
It took me a year and a half to figure that out. So I'm just figuring it out now. So I only do tastings on Fridays now.
Does that mean Friday's the biggest drinking night?
I think people buying stuff. All right. It's a good
set up for the weekend.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday. Because Saturdays people are usually like mulling around.
Settled in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
You're committed to your weekend at that point.
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right, because Thursday night's the biggest night for going out to eat, right?
Yeah, I think
that's like payday for a lot of people. Thursday night and Friday.
It's true. Yeah.
I think that's the deal with that. But that's interesting.
But when we have a tasting room, it will be open Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, not Sundays.
And when you have 30 tasting rooms.
This is true.
You just have other people working for you.
Exactly. Well, that's the goal, right? I can just be there and be at the corner of the bar.
Exactly.
The greeter like Walmart.
Yes. That's good. You can just delegate.
Exactly.
It's fantastic. Every boss I've ever had says you don't delegate enough. And I said, well, you try it.
Yeah, exactly.
But hopefully they're not listening. Past bosses, sorry. The St. Louis Cider name, we took a lot of time on last time, but I thought it was interesting. So why don't you tell people again who don't remember 6 months ago? Because we barely could.
So my buddy Jim helped me come up with it. We were trying to he's a trademark and patent. He was trademark and patent lawyer.
He's moved on?
I'm not sure what he's doing these days.
Lost track of Jim?
He does like startup stuff, but he helped me come up with the name. We were drinking beers at the Port Tavern, and St. Louis Cider came up. I had a bunch of different names. St. Louis Cider, it's all about good values. It's a very strong name. It's a name that will stick in your head. Yep. And being a good person, having good values, and that's how I want to run my business. Is like, so people, we're not known for just cider. We're known for like our values and what we do in the community and things like that. And we want to, when we get a new space, we want to do more like one of my best friends, Donnie Jarvis, is big with homeless veterans and veterans in general in the North Shore. So I want to do a lot of stuff with him and like, food drives and clothing drives and, all that stuff.
Cool. Well, that's good. And you said you said right now at your age, I forgot, you're just younger than me. Or
I'm 29.
You're 29. Yeah. Yes, you're a couple years younger than me too, which is very cool. What's your advice to like the young business owner? Because it's there's not many people doing what you're doing at 29 years old, running your own business.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
You know what? Let's just put all my own money into it, and hopefully we turn it all around.
Oh, I think you just gotta be stupid. That's the first thing.
There is a. I'm sure you have had plenty of people tell you that when you're gonna get a real job.
Yeah,
right?
no. I forget what I was watching something. Oh, Chip and Joanne Gaines. Have you ever heard? They do the Fixer Upper or whatever.
My wife's very into it.
Yeah, so Emily.
They wear kind of Chip wears those.
Yeah, he's a straight up G.
Oh, you do have the Saintly Cider shirt on. I was thinking, there you go. Nicely done.
So I picked up a couple new accounts today, so I had to, look the part. So what they said in their interview, like it was like on YouTube, Emily sent it to me, and they said like when Joanne was working at like her dad's tire shop, and he was like an entrepreneur, had like a landscape business and did some construction, and they started dating, and she was like, my dad was probably wondering when he was going to get a real job. And I think Emily's parents probably thinking the same thing, but it worked out for him. So Emily's been listening to them, and she's like, a lot of what happened to them is like us, like our story. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. So the biggest thing is finding people that you can relate to, that you can kind of be like, like they can do it. Like think of Amazon or something like that. Like these people, all these things came from an idea, and people thought they were crazy. Yeah.
Why did the Amazon thing catch on? Or?
Yeah, I guess.
It's doing all right.
Seriously. But I think the biggest thing is that you got to be passionate about something. And then if you're passionate about something, people are going to buy into what you're doing, because if you're not passionate about something, no one's going to. It's like trying to sell something to somebody. Like if you're not, say you had like a guitar that you really loved, right? Yeah. And you had to regretfully sell it, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, need that $500 or whatever it is, right? You have so much sentimental value. That person that buys it off you is going to be like, wow, like this is a big deal. I mean, if they have like a soul anyways, right? So they're going to buy into it and be like, this had meaning to somebody. So like for this business, like it started in my parents' basement 4 years ago. And so the first batch, I was kind of like, I was like, you know what? This is what we're going to do, Emily. And I was just like, I didn't look at the numbers. I wish I did. I didn't look at any of the stuff. I was like, we're just going to figure out, we're going to make it happen.
You wish you did? Why'd you wish you did?
Because the margins aren't as good as, whatever. Especially if you're doing all wholesale. So.
Because you're like, I may have rethought it.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is a lot of money needs to go into it, and you're always paying 2 or 3 months. Manufacturing, you're always paying a couple months in advance.
It must be stressful in the early going.
Oh, yeah. It's brutal. But honestly, though, I think I might have said this in the past. My business mentor, what he told me in the beginning, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, and I was like, but I don't want to be a failure, because you have all this hype where you're doing this thing, and if you're all of a sudden you're there and you're not, like, to me, it makes me like, I'd be like, wow, what a loser, right? Yeah. So it's kind of fear of failure, and he's like, you're only a failure if you quit, so you just got to keep going. And if the numbers are making sense, and you're whatever, as long as you're not losing money like crazy, you're like, just keep doing it, and this business pays for itself. Like I haven't pulled out my savings in over a year, which is amazing, and we're on track to more than double what we did last year. So it's like crazy.
There you go.
But
you do enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Hard work, but you enjoy it.
Yeah, like honestly, I really love the production end of it. The part that's really hard, like I got really this is being straight up honest right now. Like doing the sales is brutal sometimes, especially picking up new accounts.
Going into these stores and meeting the people that eventually have to sign off on this stuff.
Yeah, or like going in and like the accounts that you when you get them, like it's fine. Like what I tell people from the beginning is that, hey, I'm a one-man show pretty much. Like text, call, email, I'll get right back to you. I'll try to deliver as soon as I can. But I can't come around and like. A lot of these places get the same people coming every week, right? Yeah. I can't do that, and nor do I want to do that, you know what I mean? So it's hard to pick up new accounts, because you really have to psych yourself up, because you're going to miss. Out of every 10, you might get 2. Wow, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a lot of rejection, right? And then you think like yourself, like, oh my gosh, like this is brutal. Like, why do I do this? Like a year,
How much rejection can one man take?
Seriously. And that's what I say to Emily. I'm like, I don't think I can't do this. Like this is brutal, but
at the end of what I got married for.
Yeah, seriously. And then, but it's just like terrible. But I mean, at the same point, it's like everybody starts at this point where it's just as brutal. But then like you look at people who are very successful, and you're like, people envy them, but you don't realize what they had to do to get where they got, unless it was handed to them. But a lot of these people that have these awesome stories started from nothing. Yeah. So I just see it as I'm paying my dues right now when I'm cleaning 20 kegs by myself at 5 o'clock at night when it's 40 degrees out by hand. I'm like, oh man, this is terrible. But like, you know what? Someday this is going to pay off. And that's the reminder, is like the goal. The goal is to get to a place where I can quit my job. Yep. And because I do it part-time, that's number one goal. And then after that, the rest is gravy. Like, you know?
Absolutely. And you're 29, so you got plenty of time to
That's what I figure.
keep improving and getting better.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you fail now, like, who cares? Like, at least I tried. Like,
yeah, I'm not even sure it's a failure at this point. If you've done how many years now?
year and a half.
So a year and a half. So you're pushing 2 years now.
Yeah.
So once you do a couple of years in the business, that's like, what's that, like dog years? So it's really
so
like 14.
they say 5 to 7 is like really when you know, but the number, I mean, everything's growing and people now know who we are. Like we're not in cans, so that's the one thing that we have against us right now, but I actually like it because there's no other cider in a 750 milliliter bottle on the shelf right now.
What's that sales pitch go like when you walk into the store and you're like, hey, Greg, the manager guy?
They're like, do you have any other packaging? I'm like, nah, but, I was like, but the thing is,
try this.
Yeah, just try it. You know what I mean? And the thing is, a kid that I know said, it doesn't matter what packaging your stuff's in, as long as it's quality, it's still going to sell. Yeah. And a lot of my accounts, like, they're like, I'm the only 750 on the shelf pretty much, right? And they're like, nothing moves in glass but your cider. We don't know how it moves, but it does. So, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, like, that's what I say. I promise them, like, it's going to move on your shelves. You know what I mean? And it does.
Guarantee.
Which is crazy that it does, but
why is I mean, you sell everything in glass at the moment. Why is that like seen as a downside?
Because it's not accessible. People are like, bring on their boat or they want to, have a can and
like literally breaking.
Yeah. Okay. And the thing is, it's hard for someone to commit to 25 ounces, which is like 2 beers pretty much. But you can put a champagne stopper in it. I do that all the time.
I would have no problem committing.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, but honestly, a lot of people, what they do is they wait until someone comes over and they crack it open. And honestly, that's what I want. I don't want people sitting there. I mean, cool if you sit there by yourself and drink it and watch the Celtics, but I would love it if you're having your best friend come over and you're like, hey, let's try this local cider. Yeah. Like to me, the community aspect of it is way more important than just like individual.
And there must be a lot of that too. Like I can imagine there's certain businesses, and I'm sure some liquor stores fall into this category where they really do like, we want the local guy. Like,
exactly.
If it is a big company that's everywhere, that's cool. But let's go after the local guy and give that person a chance. You find in a lot of that?
Oh yeah, and especially
enough of that.
And my best stores, that's what they do. They're like, dude, we just push your cider all day long, and people love it. And like that's what it's all about. You also need your stores and your restaurants to like buy into what you're doing too and believe in what you're doing.
How was that? They pretty good around here with that?
Yeah, I have great relationships. I text
except for that one no.
Yeah, exactly. I text. There might be a couple. No, but honestly, at this point, if I'm not really getting a good vibe from a place, I don't deal with it anymore because I don't want to. In the beginning, I would take anybody that would take me, right? Yep. But now, if I feel like I'm getting judged every time I'm going somewhere, I'm like, I don't want to do I don't want to do I don't want to be in business if that's how I'm gonna feel. Yeah, because you want to feel positive, and I feel positive every place I walk into. It's like we're all old friends, and it's awesome.
Have you ever killed any deals and been like, you know what, I'm just kind of not enjoying this experience of you and I working together?
A couple, yeah. But it happens. I mean, that's a couple out of 40. You know what I mean? So that's really pretty good odds. That
is pretty good odds. I can imagine that's not a cool thing to do, but it's sometimes you have to do that. It's the nature
business,
of the business.
But the thing is that the other thing is getting in places. Sometimes it's someone saying something to somebody, and then they want to put us in. That's the best way. A referral. It's like selling real estate. Like when a real estate agent, I sold real estate for a little while. And
what haven't you done?
I worked at a funeral home. I've done everything. I have a horse farm. I do video.
Funeral home.
Yeah, for a little while.
Maybe we'll talk more about that later. Go ahead.
But it's all about the referral, right? So if like you have someone that knows, say, a restaurant owner, and you love my cider, and you tell the restaurant owner, hey, you should put Caleb's cider on. They're more apt to do it than me walking in cold, not knowing who I am, because they're bombarded with salespeople every single day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the way to do it. And now I don't really go into places unless I have an in or a name, and they've heard of me before I go in, because it's a complete waste of time for everybody.
Yeah, the cold, what do you call that? Cold walking up?
Yeah, cold calling, but it's brutal.
Cold calling in person.
And that's when you get rejected. You get rejected all the time when you do that.
No chance.
No, I mean, very little. Very little.
Well, that's pressure, and that does not seem like a pleasant experience. So, all right, seems like you got that part down. Cool to stick around for a couple more minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Let's take one quick break here because we flew by the time we usually do that. That happens when things are interesting, so I like that. Much more with Caleb Noble in just a moment. Saintly Cider. He owns it. He drinks it. He critiques it. So so he's always making it better. You can find them in 20 stores all around here. We'll get into some of those when we get back here. Maybe you can tell people where they can go for the weekend, because it is a Thursday after all.
You're right.
And it seems to be a popular day to do that if you're into that sort of thing. We'll be right back. Keep it here. It's Afternoon Drive on WJOP Radio. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on WJOP Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're having a good day. Thursday weekend almost here. We're joined by Caleb Noble, St. Lee Cider, owner, salesman, drinker of it, all that stuff. He does it all.
Everything. Janitor.
And along with your wife, we should say.
Yeah.
You can give it a shout out to your wife.
Emily.
Go ahead. It's always good.
Emily, she's the best.
The best.
She's the glue that holds us together.
There you go. See, now you're good for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't come in. Do you offer to have her come in?
She's working. She's a florist too, so she works for. She grows her flowers. She works for a florist, and she does.
Wow, she seems like very useful.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
That must be like very helpful.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna sell flowers eventually with our own cider and stuff like that. We're gonna do it all, man. A little bit of everything.
You can put them together. I actually went in. We had I had to get flowers for my wife just recently, and I went for you never know. I don't know if you know, but I don't know what I'm doing in there.
No.
So I say I think she's into like fall themes.
Yeah.
And we can do that.
Yeah,
I said,
exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So yeah, there you go. You could do a fall theme with the fall cider.
Exactly, and then get your flowers made up for your wife, or your girlfriend, or your grandmother, or your.
There you go. Family
Guys are into it. They can make it for him too. You know what I mean?
Well, you could have the whole day. See, yeah, I see tours in your future.
Exactly. She'll chop them up. You drink your ciders. She'll be chopping up the flowers and putting them together for you.
Excellent. What's the big? You guys have a bunch of different kinds, but what's like the biggest selling fall?
Well, we came out with a new one called Everything Nice Ginger and Spice, and
Everything Nice Ginger and Spice.
it's like a chai tea.
Is it hard to find names?
Yeah, it's brutal.
Because like a lot of them are taken, right?
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, you can.
Yeah.
As long as you're, it's hard. You know what I mean? Everything's taken. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does matter, but at the same point, you got to name it something. So
It could be like a T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to name. It could be a drink.
You got to name it something.
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't know.
Doesn't roll off the tongue that great though.
No, it's not as good as I thought it was. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like a chai. It's Emily's chai tea recipe with a hint of ginger. So it's awesome. It's wicked, like holiday-y.
Holiday.
Yeah.
Did you just roll your eyes, or were you just trying to think of the right words?
Holiday-y. Yeah, a little bit of both.
There you go. So when is she like as big of a critic as you are about the ciders? Is she like?
Nah, she
can actually enjoy one.
I think we're both different. I'm like OCD about it. She's less OCD. She's like a lot more like straight and narrow, and I'm more like up and down all the time. So that's how we work. We're a good team, you know?
Yeah.
So with the flavor, she's like, either it's good or it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with me, I'm like, well, yeah, it's good. And then you try it again, you're like, wait, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
It's brutal.
And then you're like a real pain for like 5 days.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't stress out about it as much anymore, because at least I know when it's in the bottle, it's a quality product, and I shouldn't have to worry about it.
So once it's in the bottle, you have to let it go.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like the song.
Oh my God.
Frozen.
It's like, that song? Yeah.
Let it go.
Don't do that.
It's hard.
Don't do it.
You can't preach. It's
Damage
hard to
might be
practice.
Yeah. The damage is done. I'm singing it in my head. That is an ear word for some reason. I don't know why. There was a period where that, I guess maybe when the movie was out, when that thing was on the radio all the time.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It was bad. That, and there's like some commercials that way too. I don't think we played too many of the bad ones, but like, I'm not even sure if I should say it on the Cars for Kids.
Yeah,
you know that one.
K-A-R-S.
Don't do. No. You can't actually do that. That's just mean. Let it go. But that you can't go.
Yeah, that's a brutal one. Now I got it stuck in my head.
See?
Oh,
yeah. Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Try getting through that. Any weekend tastings this weekend?
We have one at New England Wine Spirits tomorrow.
Where's that?
It's right near the Circle near Kelly's True Value.
Oh, okay. Right in there.
Place crushes it. It's insane how much cider they go through there.
Really?
Yeah.
You like them?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I went to high school with like most people that work there too. So
okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you guys ever like what's like the cider circuit? Do you like talk with people from other companies, like competitors, or stay in your own lane?
I mean, I know people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't really care. It's not honestly that competition, because I'm like way different than pretty much everybody else. Like my style, it's like way more traditional.
Yeah.
And I do know some people that are in the industry, but I mean, not as many as you think. I mean, I met people that own Stowe Cider up in Vermont randomly.
Yep.
At one point, and they were wicked nice people. I mean, everybody you meet is like super chill, for the most part.
Yeah. All right, well that's cool.
Yeah.
So there's no so there's really not the competition thing, just because you're different. And
Yeah,
I wonder if even
we're all trying to do the same thing, but at the same point, like it's really not that big.
it's
of a
more
deal.
about your product. Than what the other guys do.
Focus on your product, and it will sell. You know, as long as you produce a good product, and
There you go. It's probably good life advice. Focus on what you do best.
Yeah. Try to anyways. I mean, it's easier to preach it than to practice it, but
Aren't most things?
Yeah.
Again, Caleb Noble here of St. Lee Cider joining us today. I think your second appearance. Just the second appearance?
Yeah, second.
2 or 3?
Second, yeah, I think.
I feel like you should probably be more than a second appearance at this point. We should...
every 6 months.
Every 6 months. We'll try to cut into that a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll do a post-holiday thing with you, maybe. But so what do you do? Are you already thinking holiday plans? Like, do you have like something that you try to cater for, like the folks that want to sit around a Christmas tree and drink cider?
No, well, the problem is one of the issues we have with our current setup is that we can't really do more than one flavor.
Oh.
We have 2 flavors, we're original and then our seasonal.
Yep.
So that's another reason why we need to get our own. We're outgrowing our space where we are right now,
Which is a good problem.
Good problem to have, but it's so we need to find a new space so that we can have lots of different flavors, and what I mean. So right now it's kind of like everything nice in Cornerstone.
Yep.
And then hopefully next year we have our own space. That's kind of what the goal is.
You were telling me also that the keg thing. You don't think about these little things that go into like running a cidery. But like he said, you just bought some kegs the other day.
Yep.
And you're like, they're like expensive. You try to find like the best value. You shop around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you can't just, I mean, it'd be nice if you just had an unlimited credit card that you didn't have to pay back. But you don't, whatever. It's pretty much you just wait to get paid so you can pay your bills. I don't pay myself anything. I haven't in almost 2 years. So it's kind of one of those things. But it's a labor of love, and hopefully someday it pays off.
Labor of love. Very good. What's the
and hate.
And hate.
Just kidding.
Yes, kind of.
Some days I'm like, oh man, this is brutal.
Yeah. Well, when you were talking earlier about you being in the glass, and that's good. But and you said the draft lines are so important. You show up at a bar and you see the beers there and you're just picking one. Is that like? How do most bars have like a limit to like they have like their 8 things and then like they just won't allow anymore? Like is that a real struggle?
I mean,
maybe they won't allow 2 of the same kind.
Yeah, or like cider. They usually only put like 1 cider on.
Okay, so it's kind of that is some competition.
Yeah,
then.
definitely. But I think people are opening up more to it. But most places have like their go-to, and then like. Certain places that are known for their beers will swap it up. We'll switch up all the time. But I'd say it's 50-50. Places that keep always the same thing on, or this, it depends on what crowd. If they're going for like younger hipster type crowd, they're going to switch it up all the time.
Gotcha.
Do
you ever have that moment? Has it ever happened to you where like maybe you're just out in public, like not working, you're completely doing your own thing, you're by yourself, and I don't know if you see somebody like having a picnic, drinking your cider?
I see people walking out of stores in my cider sometime, and I go talk.
It's probably
I'm like,
more common than drinking during a picnic in the middle.
I was at a hardware store like probably a month or 2 ago, and I had Dorothy Mantooth, my Volkswagen bus, and she and this guy walking out of the store, and I'm holding
Wait a second, I can't let that go.
Yeah, Anchorman, come on now.
Yeah,
everything, all of our stuff's named after Anchorman.
That is fantastic.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
It is. I was one of the people. And it's weird that with that movie that I've heard this like a million times from people. Like I thought went the first time, went to the theater, saw it. I remember exactly who I was with. It was like a double date in high school or whenever that came out. And I thought it was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized like for the next week and a half, I'm there just like reciting lines,
I know, it's hilarious,
cracking up, and I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
Like, did I actually kind of secretly like that movie?
It's
and
awesome.
Every time I've watched it since, I've been like, this movie's hilarious.
It's the best.
It's great.
It's great. Yeah, no, it is.
So your apartment reeks of rich mahogany.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, sorry, derailed. That's easily derailed me. Dorothy Mantooth.
Oh, Dorothy Mantooth.
Yep.
So I'm at. Do you only like you walk out of a door and like you try to like hold it for somebody, but it's like too late, and you're like,
Yeah.
So I did that, and this guy was walking in, and he's like, dude, he's like, you make some amazing cider.
And how do you know this was you?
I don't know. He saw my bus, and I was probably wearing my hat or something.
Oh, so it's all.
Yeah. So he maybe saw or maybe knows who I am because he follows us on Instagram or something.
Gotcha.
And so he said that, and I was like, thanks, man. Like it's just like random because, I mean, at the base of everything, it doesn't. I feel like I'm still a joke kind of thing, which is kind of
stop it.
But like it doesn't seem like it's like anything that's. when you don't. It doesn't feel like you're where you're at, or you never feel like you're where you want to be, and it's never good enough. And I think that's a good thing and a bad thing about being a business owner is you're never satisfied. But then you don't realize how far you've come.
Yeah.
You know, like this time last year, I was in 7 or 10 places. Now we're in like 35. Like, it's like crazy, right?
That is crazy.
But like, I'm like, I want to be in more now. But when you really stop and think, and you're like, wow, like I saw a list. I have like a whiteboard.
Yeah.
And I keep them on that whiteboard, like the 7 original places I was in. I look at that and I'm like, you know, a year ago I was just in that many places. Like, that's crazy. Some of those places don't even exist anymore. You know, it's like, so that's like humbling to see that or whatever. But but when people say stuff like that in the street and you don't even know who they are, it's like, wow. Or like when you go into a place and like, oh, I've heard of you guys before. Like, that's cool.
You're just gonna make sure you hold the door for these people.
Exactly. I gotta, you know.
Let me get that for you next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that must be pretty rewarding though to see that stuff, and and never mind the compliments. That's cool.
It makes
it's
it
almost
worth it.
celebrity status. Or
I don't know about that.
Well, if not now, hopefully soon, because I think you are. If you're going at this pace, and this is probably something that maybe you in the back of your head you realize, but if you're growing at this pace, getting 20 new stores every time we talk,
yeah, that'd be cool, man.
we're gonna be doing all right.
Yeah, I hope so. That's the goal anyway. As long as it's selling in the stores, you know, whatever.
There you go.
So if anybody listening knows of any restaurants that they'd like to see a St. Louis Cider on draft, you know, hook it up.
There you go.
You know, let me know. Email me.
Go ahead, give the email. You can do that.
info@stlouiscider.com. Check it out.
That is a good spot. All right. You want to say it again? Say it again.
info@stlouiscider.com. You can go to our website, check it out.
Instagram, you say too. All the kids are into Instagram. I am bad on this, so I got into the Twitter game, and I do the Facebook thing. Like everybody does the Facebook thing. I kind of am into it. Twitter, I'm more on. I find that to be more
makes sense for
in the
news,
moment. Yeah, in you know the news thing. And like that's just kind of my quota. I tried to refrain from doing the other ones because 2 I felt was enough. Yeah. But it feels like Instagram is like taking over.
Yeah, I love Instagram.
Yeah, my wife does too. You do, Lexi, right?
I do.
Yeah, she loves it. Yeah.
But Snapchat's
do you follow
big
Caleb
too.
yet?
What?
Do you follow Caleb yet?
I don't.
Follow Caleb. What's wrong with you?
Instagram, check it out.
Maybe that's
maybe not.
She's kind of
young.
You don't follow Caleb.
Yeah, don't follow.
For another couple of years.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. You can support the businessman though. That's fine. I'm sure you get. Moving on.
Yeah.
But the Instagram thing though, it just seems to be the one that's really big. So you do like get a lot of love on there.
For
do you
sure.
ever land a deal that way?
I've landed deals for Emily to do flowers for other people. Actually, recently.
Really? No kidding. That's probably more of a flower.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Hook, yeah.
People love it for that, and you get like messages every once in a while, or people like in their story they'll put St. Louis Cider. It's just kind of cool to see all that stuff, you know. And it's definitely it's fun. But
you can still do like the hashtags, right? Is that an Instagram thing?
Yeah, hashtags.
See, I'm feeling really outdated here by asking these questions. But yeah, it's good. The pictures you can do a little more advertising.
But the thing is, people don't care. I mean, I'll be straight up. Like people don't really like they don't care if I post a picture of a bottle of cider.
Yeah.
You get like, you know, 15, 30 likes, right?
Yeah.
But if I post a picture of me and Emily, we'll get 100. Like, it's crazy. Like, people care about the story more than the product. I mean, you have to have a good product. But
you just got to give your wife credit for that. You might be overthinking it.
Yeah. Well, it is funny because every time she's in there, we get way more likes. Maybe she's prettier than I am, whatever.
Well,
but
I've never met her, but
yeah. But for social media, anyways, that's what people want. People want to be a part of something, feel a part of something. You know, you know how it is, like in news and stuff like that. And I was in news for a little while as a photographer and non-producer.
That's
but
right, yeah.
But it's like all about the story, you know what I mean, and being authentic and being real and not being fake. And I think people don't want to be lied to because, advertising is just like a bunch of smoke and mirrors, you know what I mean?
And once you ruin that trust or ruin that name, it's probably tough to get it back.
Exactly.
As a I would think.
Yeah.
So you probably try not to do that, I guess.
So we just try to portray like we do like the struggle, but like also like the rewards and the blessings that we have from doing what we do.
Yeah, I think people can relate with that story. I guess that's why it sat with me after these long 6 months to seeing you before. But the whole thing about, you know, I remember you saying it's not all that glamorous. I'm telling you, it's fun, but it's not all that glamorous. I think people respect that kind of honesty, and I think most people probably assume that about every job. Every job is not really.
Yeah, it's the grass is always greener. It really is. Like I'm thinking being a tow truck driver. driver would be kind of fun. I'm dead serious. Like, I think everybody's I mean, I use AAA all the time because my van breaks down all the time.
Dorothy Mantoo.
Yeah, Dorothy Mantoo. But we got her fixed. But all those guys are so happy. Like, when I go into a business,
tow truck drivers.
Tow truck drivers. When I go into a business, like I was in news for a while, funeral homes, real estate.
Can we do funeral homes real quickly too? Well,
my good buddy ran a funeral home in Lynn, and I used to go and help him out doing funerals and all that fun stuff.
What does that mean?
I was dressed help.
How do you help? How do you lend a hand at the funeral
picking
home?
up dead bodies? I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
You take one. That's
it was fun.
Interesting.
But
here's some side cash.
Yeah, pretty much. So some side hustle. That was a few years ago. But that was when I was trying to find what I want to do in my life. The biggest thing is like,
you were trying to find what you wanted to do with your life, and you landed in a funeral home.
Pretty much. He was like, hey, you can make decent money, and you can, whatever. I was like, all right, I guess
weird
I'll try
irony
it.
there. Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. I wouldn't do it again, but it was cool. But I think you kind of learn from all these different things have taught me different things, right? So I can apply it today. Yeah. And the other thing is I forget what I was going to say before.
It's my fault.
I
have this weird habit of
I can't remember.
People.
Anyways, but
stay with it. Dorothy Mantoo, tow truck drivers.
What you do is for me anyways, like I'm always looking at people and seeing like, are they happy? Do they have a family? The big things to me are happiness, family, things like that, kids, someday. Having a social life, not just being like work. For me, it's about quality life. You know what I mean? And I don't want to live to work. I want to, what is it? No, live to work to live.
Yeah, I don't work to live. I don't live.
I don't live to work. I work to live.
Yeah,
and even with this business, I don't want to consume my life.
Yeah.
I want to still have a life. I want to be like coach my kids soccer someday. Stuff like that. But that's what I look at, and all the things I've done in the past, people didn't seem really happy. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to be like that in 30 years. Like I want to be happy with my decisions, even if I'm like struggling now, like barely can pay my bills, but it's all good, right? Like we're having fun, and at this point when you got nothing to lose, then who cares?
Yeah, there you go. 29-year-old business owner, not too shabby.
Yeah, living the dream, as I say.
Yeah, well, it's living the dream. That's a good
or Emily says nightmares are dreams too. I'm like, this is true.
How often does she say that?
All the time.
All the time. Well, geez, as he bangs his head on the microphone.
Pretty much.
That's an excellent way to end the show. Yeah. I think we've ended on a high note. Thursday, any weekend plans?
Not much, man. Just gonna try to relax, get some rest, hopefully, some sleep.
Try to relax. I think it's probably a big effort for you.
Yeah. I gotta clean a lot of kegs. I picked up new kegs, so I gotta clean a bunch of them. So that's gonna be fun.
Excellent. Emily helping yours?
No, it's a Caleb job.
It's a you job.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I understand. All right. Well, Caleb Noble, St. Lee Cider, a pleasure as always, man. Glad you could do it. Show always flies by when you're in here. So we'll try to make it in less than 6 months next time.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
The end of show handshake. I like that.
Yeah, you like that.
That's good. We never do that. It's fantastic. This is Afternoon Drive on Jopper Radio.